Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another Game of Thrones reaction, and we are ready to watch episode 3 of season 5. I don't know, my thoughts on season 5 so far is that I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the change of scenery for a couple of my favorite characters. I'm enjoying the fact that we're seeing some big plays being made from Varys' side, from Baelys' side even though I hate him. I'm enjoying seeing the shifting of, I guess, power that is going on, like even the Boltons taking over. It's all building up into, some pretty interesting storylines that we can look forward into unfolding. Same with what's going on now in King's Landing with Cersei and the Tyrells. Obviously, what's going on with Dany and her dragons. There's just a lot of dynamics being shifted. I guess it's a better way to describe it, from dynamics that we knew from the previous seasons that were established since the previous seasons. I am ready to jump into this reaction, so if you guys are ready, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe for more content just like this one. Check out my Pulp Fiction reaction if you guys haven't watched it. I had a blast watching that film. But yeah guys, nothing else needed to be added. Let's jump right into Game of Thrones. Where are we? Where is this? Is this Dany's city? Ooh, that's Arya. Oh, she's inside that building with the black and white door. I almost said black and white cage for whatever reason.
I come then.
You said I could be your apprentice. You said you'd teach me how to be a faceless man.
Is this
I want to serve.
a Karate Kid arc for Arya? You're gonna learn to wax off, wax
You
on.
must become no one.
I see the drowned god. I see the wayward face.
There is only one god. God knows his name. And all men know his gift.
The God of Death? The God of Death? Did he poison that motherfucker? Okay, so who is going to die in this wedding? A Westeros wedding without at least a few deaths is considered a dull affair. That line was said about the Dothraki weddings. It's been at least most apt for Westeros. How old is Tommen? How old is this kid though?
Yes.
I guess I'm gonna have to just deal with this because that's just how it was back in the day.
I've married the most beautiful woman in the world. It's all because my brother died.
I understand. You mustn't feel guilty.
I don't feel guilty.
He's actually happy.
That's what's odd.
You're just like the rest of us.
Your mother like it here?
I don't think so. She told me never to trust anyone in King's Landing.
I adore her. She's always been so generous with me, so kind. Losing her husband, her eldest child, and her father. It's no wonder she's so protective of you. She'll never let you out of her sight.
She's certainly very pretty, isn't she? Like a doll. She smiles quite a lot. I think she's intelligent. I can't quite tell. Not that it matters.
Do you ever miss Castle Rock?
There's nothing for me in Casterly Rock.
I'm very much enjoying seeing this. Marjorie is trying to ship Cersei
I
away
wish we'd
from
been
here.
in Casterly Rock.
The way that you talked about it. I always thought that you missed it.
But Cersei's not going to go for any of this.
Where my family lives.
I want you to be happy, Mother.
And to set a new record. He said, well, what is the record? I'm sure we can break it.
We're still talking about a kid
Mother.
here.
Anything to eat or drink? I wish we had some wine for you. It's a bit early in the day for us.
Are you calling her an alcoholic? I mean, she is, but are you actually in her face? Everything Marjorie says sounds like she's lying. She has one of the most condescending tones.
Becky is half lion, half stag. Forgive me, I haven't been at court for long. I get so confused. What's the proper way to address you now? Queen Mother or Dowager Queen? Judging from the king's enthusiasm. The Queen Mother will be a Queen Grandmother soon.
Wouldn't that be a lovely day?
Bells all day and night.
Remember, anything you need.
And that sounded like a threat when the words in that phrase were nothing but nice. But that sounded like she basically told her, I'll kill you in your sleep. But she just said, anything you need. I love Marjorie and Cersei, their feud so far. It's been so well portrayed. Both of them have so many things in common, although they despise one another. The actresses kill it every time with the passive-aggressive innuendos and like, Jesus Christ. As said the previous episode, I wasn't missing the Boltons at all. And I wasn't missing seeing Rick at all. I'm gonna stop calling him Rick and I'm gonna keep calling him Theon because that's who he is to me.
I flayed him living, along with his wife and brother.
And
The new Lord Kerwin paid his taxes.
I have something important to tell you. Stop eating and listen. We don't have enough men to hold the north if the other houses rise up against us.
Our pact with the Lannisters protects
I had a
us.
pact with Tywin Lannister, and Tywin Lannister is dead. The best way to forge a lasting alliance isn't by peeling a man's skin off. The best way is marriage. It's high time you married a suitable bride.
Who is this unfortunate soul?
I found the perfect girl to solidify our hold on the north.
Who?
Can't make me. He is a traitor, a murderer.
You're not marrying Roose Bolton.
You're marrying somebody way worse.
Heir, Ramsay.
Oh my goodness. Why does Sansa have to marry all the psychos in the freaking Westeros, bro?
Die before I have to go there.
Don't you know by now how much I care for you?
And yet he's gonna force her to do it. I can't believe that she goes from Joffrey to that monster right there. Like, literally the two worst possible people she could ever run into. And like, Snake makes up the Holy Trinity. Like, she's just... I wish you to fall from your horse right now and break your head, Snake.
We don't.
Look at this place. Does this look like your future home? Does this look like where you want to exist in, Sansa? That place looked like it had dead bodies hanging inside, because it did.
He invited dozens of young lords to Tarth. I didn't want to go, but he dragged me to the ballroom, and it was wonderful. None of the boys noticed how mulish and tall I was. They whispered in my ear how they wanted to marry me and take me back to their castles. I'd never been so happy.
Then what happened?
Till I saw a few of the boys sniggering. They were toying with me. Brienne the Beauty, they called me. Great joke. And I realized I was the ugliest girl alive. I tried to run away, but Renly Baratheon took me in his arms. Don't let them see your tears, he told me. He danced with me and none of the other boys could say a word. Renly was the king's brother after all.
Good guy, Renly, man.
Wasn't he Lord Tyrion said he was...
Yes, Pod, he liked men. I'm not an idiot. He saved me from being a joke, and I couldn't save him in return.
How do you fight a shadow?
A shadow with the face of Stannis Baratheon.
To this day, I didn't remember the demon having a face. Excuse me. I did not remember it having Stannis' face.
One day he might come on.
This is so stark, like how Jon has literally taken this kid that killed the love of his life under his wing and genuinely cares for him.
I'm giving you the chance to avenge your family.
I've shared my thoughts on this. I stand by what I said. Jon would be able to help a lot more people as Warden of the North than leading the Night's Watch.
Mean it as praise. Honor got your father killed.
That's what I said.
Mind's made up.
The Night's Watch can't continue to feed your men and the wildling prisoners indefinitely. Winter is coming.
I know it. We march on Winterfell within the fortnight.
The wildlings.
They'd rather burn than fight for me, so be it. I leave their fate to you. You have many enemies in Castle Black. Have you considered sending Alistair Thorne elsewhere?
Heard it was best to keep your enemies close.
Whoever said that didn't have many enemies.
The king is a complicated man. But he wants to do what's right for the Seven Kingdoms.
How does the Night's Watch vow go again? I bet you've got it memorized since you got here.
The shield that guards the realms of men. I pledge my
Right,
life.
that's enough. The shield that guards the realms of men. I'm not a learned man, but the best way to help the most people might not be sitting in a frozen castle at the edge of the world.
Thank you!
This might mean waiting.
As long as the Boltons rule the North will suffer.
Thank you, Sir Davos.
Man's opinion.
I'm so glad you're here to put my thoughts into the show and right in front of Jon's face. Enough with the Starks being this damn honorable. Arya is the only, like,
What do you want?
the only real one.
You,
And I love the
walking
Starks,
here
but
with a
like,
coin you never earned, whose value you do not respect.
do you want to get beat up?
Why?
Arya will beat you up.
No one.
Ow! Cunt!
Who are you?
I told you I'm not... Do that again! And...
Who are you?
You're about to find out.
What are you doing?
Who are anything?
It's not ready.
Clearly not.
I am ready.
What?
For whatever you want. To be a faceless man.
She's actually ready to beat her up. That's what she's ready to do.
Whose sword is that?
Or kill her.
It belongs to Arya Stark. Arya Stark's clothes, Arya Stark's stolen silver. How is it that no one came to be surrounded by Arya Stark's things?
Okay, he's kind of spitting. I see where this is going. I like where this is going. And if that's what Arya really wants to do, then he has a point. She needs to get rid of Arya Stark's things. Can we at least keep needles somewhere stacked? You can still be no one with Arya Stark's blade. He just took it from Arya. And I mean, it's Jon's gift to her. See, me and Arya we are. So put it there, and then when you become no one, you can go and find Arya Stark's blade, and you're just gonna be using Arya Stark's blade. Why are they killing those people that come in, though? Do they come in wanting to be killed? Is that what he said? That's like the greatest gift, or like everybody knows his gift to them? Are they people that come in like suffering, wanting to be relieved from life? Fuck, I forgot that Theon is there and he knows Sansa. He has known Sansa since they were little kids. They basically grew up together. He's like her brother. And he is going to see her being given
Lord Bolton.
to the person that has brought him to the situation that he's in currently. And she is gonna see Theon, and I don't even know what she's gonna think of Theon. And then you have these bitches that, like, what? Are they jealous? You can have him, I promise you.
The North remembers.
I hope that was genuine.
Sir Alistair, you have more experience than any other ranger at Castle Black. You proved your valor many times over while defending the wall from the wildling attack. I name you first ranger.
Jon showing, like, what commanding looks like to Sir Alistair right there.
That was a command.
Not a request.
Pack your arms and armor and ride for Greyguard.
I will not go meekly off to freeze and die. Give it to one of the fools who cast a stone for you.
Are you refusing to obey my order?
Please refuse so that we can kill you off finally of this damn show you've occupied way too much of my screen time.
Ollie, bring me my sword.
All of you!
Yes! Yes! Come on!
Boy thinks he can frighten me.
We all know that you're fucking scared of literally everything. And please do kill him. Don't leave him be because he like changes his mind now. Because you know he's gonna change his mind when he's about to die. Just kill him.
I was wrong. You're the Lord Commander. We all serve you. I'm sorry, not only for this, for all I've done and said.
Kill him, please.
My lord, please, mercy. Mercy.
Kill him. Kill him,
Oh,
Jon.
no, I will.
Jon, no, I'm begging you. Jon, please, I'm begging you. Please, no, don't do it, Jon.
I've always been
Don't spare him, Jon. Jon, please. Jon, we need him to die. We need his head to fall. Yes! Thank you. Thank you. This means the world to me. I appreciate it, Jon. I appreciate you, my commander.
I am the High Septon of the...
You are a sinner, and you shall be punished.
I had a feeling that he was gonna turn into the overzealous, like, religious type when we first saw him. Who gave you all the authority to do this, though?
I give voice to the will of the gods and am their foremost servant in this world. An insult to me is an insult to the gods, the highest born and the lowliest amongst us. Even prostitutes may earn the mercy of the mother.
So you were ministering to the needs of these devout prostitutes?
A man's private affairs ought to stay private.
Of course you would say that. Why are they living like this?
The High Septon came to speak to me today. Doesn't want me to arrest you, he wants me to execute you. The High Septon's behavior was corrosive, as was his attitude. Having a man like that reside in the Sept eats away at the faith from the inside. So now he resides in the Red Keep dungeons instead.
Huh.
The faith and the crown are the two pillars that hold up this world. One collapses, so does the other.
But I do wonder, Cersei, what happens if those uber-religious people find out about your relationship with Jaime?
This message to Littlefinger at the Eyrie or wherever he's slithering about.
Snake is a Slytherin. Very well pointed out, Cersei. Is the mountain going to move? Such an obvious camera placement. Does this count like a Stark reunion?
She really is lovely.
I'm going to take it if it
I
happens.
hope I can make her happy.
I hope so too. She's suffered enough.
I'll never hurt her. You have my word.
Oh my god.
I'm forever in your debt.
I'm terrified for Sansa.
seems
Swear to
pleased.
God.
Tywin is dead. He kept his house in power through sheer will.
That's what I said it during the intro, right? The shifting of powers. Everybody plotting.
The Lannisters made you one of the great lords of Westeros. Yet here you are in the north undermining them. Why gamble with your position?
Every ambitious move is a gamble. You gambled when you drove a dagger into Robb Stark's heart. It appears that your gamble paid off. Last time the Lords of the Eyrie formed an alliance with the Lords of the North. They brought down the greatest dynasty this world has ever known.
So, somebody in the comments, when Sansa and Baelish first got together, and he told her that he loved her so much, and he cared for her so much, I said that, like, that's not the real reason. He doesn't actually care for her like he says he does. And some of you guys were saying that no, he actually cares for Sansa. I'm really looking at Snake's moves and seeing him actually protect Sansa, and so far he's not doing that, so I'm very interested to see if that ever happens. He doesn't look to be wanting to protect her at any point. So, are we in Volantis right now? This looks straight out of Assassin's Creed.
We should keep moving.
Varys, how could you leave him from your side? What are you? You look important, but pretty
The
cool.
only red priest we had in King's Landing was Thoros of Myr. This one's much better looking.
That was... Listen, I'd be creeped the fuck out Right, that's there. I didn't know that Tyrion knew, like, I guess that's Valyrian.
Curious hair.
Was that supposed to be Daenerys?
Targaryen supporter.
Oh god. Zora?
Inspires priests. Where are you going? I need to speak to someone with hair. Hello?
Hello. They all like her. They all want to fuck a queen.
No, I like her
You're just
before she
saying
was
that.
queen, alright?
Spotted liar. I would pick you
Why?
because you have a skeptical mind.
You've been talking to this woman for about 1 minute.
We're gonna have to wash you first. Come on.
I'm sorry, I can't.
You're shy.
I'm not.
That's not the reason.
Believe me, no one is more shocked than I am.
I was gonna say, he looked shocked when you said it. He's thinking about Shay, obviously. That's not Varys behind him, is it? That's not Varys behind you. Zora, don't do anything stupid.
Made some kind of mistake. Why don't you tell
Zora
me?
when they did something stupid.
Taking you to the queen.
Wait, hold on. That is what we want. But not like this. Zora. Zora. If you could just stop for 1 second. I guess Zora like thinks that like if he captured Tyrion, a Lannister, and brought him to Daenerys, that would like make Daenerys think that like he's actually for her and he's like for their cause and stuff, and that will actually show her that he doesn't work for anybody. I guess that's what his thinking is. I just don't really see it. He seemed pretty desperate, as we saw him in that brothel. Obviously distraught. Obviously he has been not having a good time since that whole deal where Daenerys just banished him basically. Daenerys already told you that if she finds you again in Meereen, you're gonna get like killed, right? So is that really something that you want to do? Do you feel like that is actually going to work? Daenerys is not gonna hurt Tyrion, so like I'm not worried even if Jorah brings him to her, if Varys brought him to her. I just need Tyrion to be delivered to Daenerys like a nice Amazon package. I just need it to like be delivered, reach, you know, the recipient, and then she can sign off, and then they can like hash it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. It was very interesting. I did enjoy seeing Volantis from like ground level. I did enjoy seeing Tyrion finally get out of that carriage and like start being a little bit like Tyrion again. At least he had the intentions to, and then he remembered about Shay. But let's start with Arya and what's going on there. That whole thing was very creepy at first. I was a little bit worried at the beginning that maybe that lifestyle, or I guess the guy that she trusted and went there, weren't going to be what she had hoped for. But after seeing what transpired after that, I'm willing to bet that all that Arya is doing is going to have a purpose at the end, and it is going to lead to her becoming what she ultimately wants to become, at least start to become that. A lot of mysticism, they don't like to talk a lot, they don't like to explain stuff a lot. I'm glad that she didn't have to actually throw needle into the water and she just buried it there for her to be able to go back and get it again, because I'm sure that is going to happen at some point. Marjorie consummated the marriage. First of all, they got married, no deaths this time. They consummated the marriage. Now Marjorie is the queen, right? And she decided that she can talk to Cersei whichever way she feels like. And that is very entertaining to watch. I said during the episode, Marjorie and Cersei scenes are always very, very good. She basically called her drunk in front of the her friend group. And we've noticed the tendencies since basically season 1. I enjoy their scenes. I enjoyed seeing how Marjorie started kind of manipulating Tommen, as guys are pretty easy to get. But with her means and kind of putting words into his ear, trying to get him to ship his mother off King's Landing, so that she can be out of Marjorie's business, so that Marjorie can do queen shit. We had the thing with the religious zealots, those fanatics, the Sparrows. I guess they needed to introduce some more people in King's Landing. Now that they killed off Joffrey, they killed off Tywin, they needed to introduce some more aspects to King's Landing, just so that we can have some movement, I guess. Just some more people to be wary of, I guess. I don't know how I feel about the Sparrow storyline. I feel like they were kind of random. Were they just formed? Did they always exist? I don't know, but we had the religious zealots for the Lord of Light. We have the religious zealots for the Lord of Death, which is where Arya is at. We have the believers of the old gods, which they're all in the north, and the wildlings and stuff. And this is the first we've seen where we actually see people who are really into the Seven, and that religion, which basically the way they showed it is very on par, kin to how a lot of religions have operated in real life, the ones that we know of, and still do. The most important, in my opinion, part of this episode, and the most terrifying part of this episode, was what happened to Sansa. Sansa cannot catch a break in this damn show. She started off married to possibly the worst person in Westeros, only to be remarried to what seems like, despite the impossible odds of it, an even worse version of Joffrey. Let's document her journey a little bit. She went from Joffrey in King's Landing straight to the Vale, where she had to deal with the craziness of her aunt for at least a couple of weeks. All of that happened. She gained a bit of autonomy just a few episodes ago, just to be manipulated and shipped off again to fucking Ramsay Bolton. And I'm shivering in fear at what Ramsay could possibly do to her. And then they even showed us that part where all the other women were kind of looking at her sideways, and it's like, you can have Ramsay, please have Ramsay. I promise you, Sansa would want no part of it. And just because of how this show is, I'm sure they're going to turn on Sansa and try to mess with her or something, and it's gonna have to deal with that as well as Ramsay. It's my own thing is, can Sansa tap into Theon in a way that others couldn't? Can Sansa actually bring Theon back to us? And can we get rid of Rick, and can that interaction do something? I'm going to take it as a Stark reunion at this point. This is as close of a Stark reunion as we're going to get. I feel like Theon, I consider Theon an honorary Stark, but it's not Theon right now, it's Rick, and that sucks. And as I was saying, you guys were telling me that Snake, Little Baelish, actually cares for Sansa. I don't see that at all. He doesn't actually love Sansa, he just wants to further his goals, and he's using her as another pawn in his chess game. That's what it all looks like to me. If I actually see him making actual efforts to protect her, then maybe I can reconsider, but so far, he's literally shipping her off to the freaking Boltons. It's he must know the Bolton history, right? He must know that their banner is what it is, right? And what they do to people. And you're gonna trust them with Sansa? If you supposedly care for her? I don't think he cares for her. We also got a little bit of Brienne's backstory, which I thought was very interesting. Renly, my appreciation for Renly grew even more but it was interesting to find out more about her backstory and why she felt so attached to Renly. And then, of course, we have to talk about Jon Snow. I was so happy that we finally got rid of the bald-headed idiot that I'm not even gonna put in any effort to remember his name. Good riddance. Just another side piece character that, like, was occupying too much screen time for me, and it was about time that we got rid of him. I appreciate that Jon Snow decided to show Sir Alistair, like, do the exact opposite. He had the opportunity at that time to, like, exact revenge and, like, be as petty as Sir Alistair was when he was in command, but Jon Snow, in typical Jon Snow fashion, was like, I'm gonna teach you, old man, how a commander should actually do things. What's your best asset? Being a ranger? Like my best asset was when you were in command, yet you relegated me to a steward? Well, listen here, old fuck, this is how this works. Your best asset is being a ranger, you will be a ranger, and you will be our first ranger, whatever the fuck that means. I assume, like, he's kind of like a general. And another thing that I didn't point out, it's nice to see how everything, like, worked out, like Sam had suggested all the way back, like season 1, where he said that Jon Snow was being groomed for command, and that's exactly how it happened 4 seasons later. Jon Snow is the commander. Like, I really appreciate that it carried through and it actually, like, manifested. Sam has intuition, he really did call it. We do still need to talk about, like, the proposal Stannis made, Jon. I still agree with Sir Davos. I agree with Stannis. I feel like Jon would be so much helpful, especially knowing who is currently the Warden of the North. Jon Snow would be so much more helpful in that position instead of fucking Bolton. I think that was the wrong decision. I hope that it's not gonna come back to bite him, much like the theme has been for the Starks, making the honorable decision which gets them killed. But I guess I'm gonna have to accept that Snow is now the commander and he's not gonna be the Warden of the North. And now the only other solution that we can get rid of the Boltons is for Stannis to kill them, I guess. So I'm rooting for Stannis to go there and kill the Boltons. Unless Daenerys just decides to just, like, mid-season swoop in with a couple of dragons and burn them all. But that's all for me, guys. Once again, thank you for joining me in another reaction, and I will see y'all in the next reaction video. Have a good one.